guys, today I am back to film my Pan That Palette update, and I am really excited because this was a really good month for me, and I'm kind of just hoping it stays like this for the rest of the year. But of course I'm going to start with my Naked palette, and I did finish a shadow out of here this month, so that is what it looks like. And as you can see, I finished Half Baked, so I am now officially like halfway through the palette. I only have 6 more shadows to go. And you can kind of see too, I actually almost finished Smog. So I now have, let's see, down here, Virgin, Sin, Naked, Sidecar, Buck, and Half Baked gone. So that just leaves you the Smog, Dark Horse, Toasted, Busted, Creeper, and Gunmetal. So I am excited to officially be halfway. I am also a little bit nervous though because I am down to the darker shadows now, so that's going to be a little more tricky for me to use. I always find that lighter shadows are just a lot easier to use because they are so multi-purpose. You can use them on the lid, you can use them in the inner corner, just so many things. So I'm a little nervous because we are getting down to the trickier stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about this. I'll just talk about Half Baked first because I finished that one. This one was really hard to finish. I kind of had to wear it a lot, but luckily I do like Half Baked. But it's just, that shadow in particular, it's just like you need such a small amount of it, it seems like. It just seems so kind of densely packed. But I managed to finish that one. I pretty much finished it by pairing it with another shadow, which I will talk about in a minute. But you can also see I did pretty well with Smog too. My goal was, I think, to finish half of Smog, and I would say I'm there, at least there. But I think this one's actually going to go really fast because I can see a huge difference in it from when I used it yesterday to even just now, just using it that one day, because the sides of it came up a little bit further. So I did manage to like wear down the sides, and it is actually a little bit more kind of shallow too. So I don't think that that little bit will take me very long. I have been pairing it with Gunmetal actually. I originally tried those two together and I didn't like it. And I don't love it, but it makes them both a little bit more tolerable for me. So I've been pairing those two together, and if that just keeps up, Smog will be gone very soon. As you can see, Dark Horse looks pretty much the same. I'd say there's maybe a little bit more pan showing, and it's definitely been used, it doesn't look like it. So that one is going to be getting a lot more use this next month, just because that is, like I said, I just kind of want to go down the row and finish them kind of in order if I can. If I don't, it's not a big deal, but Dark Horse is going to be kind of my next focus one after Smog. So I really want there to be more pan showing, have have hit one of the sides of the pan. It's kind of my goal. So there's that. I also really want to wear Toasted a lot more this next month. I haven't really yet, but I think when I change up my weekly makeup bag in a few days, I will kind of keep this in mind and keep in mind that I'm going to wear it more. And of course I'm going to wear Toasted. I am going to wear Busted because these two I love together. There is a couple looks with Busted kind of on its, not on its own, but with Busted being like the main lid color and stuff that I might actually try, because this is a really pretty color too. So these two I'm going to be working on a lot more as well. I'm going to try to focus on Toasted, and I would really like to hit pan on it this next month. So that's kind of another goal, is to hit pan on another shadow in this palette, and I'm thinking it's going to be Toasted. So that's kind of my plan for those two. Creeper, I don't think it looks any different on camera, but I can tell that it's starting to get a little bit lower. It's very slow progress with this one, and I know it's going to be the last shadow that I have left, I have a feeling, but I don't know, it is hard for me to use. So it's going to be something I'm really going to have to start focusing on. I used it a pretty fair amount yesterday when I did my makeup, so if I can kind of keep that up, it's still going to take me a while, but at least I'll be a little bit closer. And then next is Gunmetal. And you can kind of see my little dip there with Gunmetal. It's really kind of starting right in here. But that is actually, I think, kind of, I wouldn't say it's close to hitting pan, but I would say it's getting close to like halfway. So that's kind of where that is at. Whereas I think Toasted, yeah, Toasted's a lot closer to hitting pan than Gunmetal, but it's, I mean, they're both pretty full. So I'm really going to have to start working on the shadows that don't have pan showing, because this is update number 7, so I have 5 more updates to go, and to not have pan showing on them can be a little, I don't know, it's a little nerve-wracking in a way. But for this palette, my goals are to finish Smog, have kind of some side pan showing on Dark Horse, and hit pan on another shadow. So that is really going to be my goals for this next month. I'm extremely happy with what I did this last month, and I'm really hoping I can meet all my goals again this next month with this one. So there is the Naked palette. Now I will do the MAC Fabulousness Warm Eyes. So this one I managed to finish Retrospec, which I think, actually I don't know. When I did my Project Pan, I think I had finished it, or I hadn't quite finished it. But these shadows are really starting to change. They are getting very dry, kind of crumbly. They're almost getting like less pigmented too as they're getting dried out. So Retrospec is now gone. That one I layered a lot of it on top of Half Baked to kind of lighten it up a little bit, and I had to use a lot of shadow to layer it on top. So that one was really tricky, but I don't know, you also had to be really careful because since it is so crumbly, it would just kind of crumble and break. So that one I had to be careful about. Next is Honesty, and I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell, but there is more pan showing on that. I did manage to kind of hit the side pan. Honesty, I am kind of telling myself it absolutely needs to be done this next month because I need to get a better start going on the other shadows in this palette. They are smaller shadows, but I still, you know, I don't wear them all over the lid and stuff, so I'm gonna have to work a little harder on those too. But Honesty, I've been wearing it kind of on my no makeup days because it's, like I said, a pretty sheer shadow, and this one too is actually getting kind of crumbly, but it's pretty sheer. So a lot of times when I don't want to say I don't have to wear makeup for work, but every once in a while there's those days where I work where it's closed and technically we don't have to wear makeup, but I do throw a little bit on just in case I end up having to work while the store is open. So if that's the case, I throw Honesty kind of on the lid with some colors from the Anastasia Catwalk palette. It's kind of been something I like to just throw on for kind of minimal makeup or whatever, but that one I'm telling myself I need to have finished this next month, and I think that one's gonna be really tricky for me, but I'm gonna cross my fingers. Next is my Anastasia Catwalk palette. This is doing really well. I've talked about my Project Pan update, which I already filmed like I think it's been at least 2 weeks since I filmed that already, because I'm so behind on filming videos and stuff. But my goal was to pan 2 shadows out of this for my Project Pan, and then I also just kind of wanted to make progress on it for next year. So this is what mine looks like. You can tell kind of what shadows are really used. Like this light pink one here in the corner obviously has a really big dip, and this one here, I don't know if that's going to be able to kind of pick up on camera, but the champagne color too has a really huge dip. Some other colors that kind of have some noticeable ones are this light pink color, because this is another one that I throw on just kind of on a minimal makeup day, and then also this gold color down here. This I did pair with like Half Baked and Retrospec a couple times, so it got a little bit of use then. And I also like to pair these 2 colors with Honesty a little bit. I just do a really light little layer of kind of both of them because it's supposed to be minimal makeup. So I just do a little bit of those with Honesty. So this palette is going really well, surprisingly. I'm pretty confident in finishing 2 shadows out of that before the end of the year. So yeah, that is my Pan That Palette update. I have seen a lot of amazing Pan That Palette updates lately. I feel like everyone is so close to done, and I kind of feel a little behind because, like I said, I'm just now halfway, but I feel like I'm doing okay. I have a lot of shadows I'm panning, and I just feel like some of it's some of it slowed me down, especially with my project pan. Some of the shadows I had in there kind of slowed me down from things that were in my actual Pan That palette. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm excited for next month, and I hope this progress just kind of keeps going. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.